Most people outside the FGeek community and the frequent flyers who are exacting about what they want in a flight, even if they are not plane spotters, don't pay much attention to aircraft types. That's a mistake, because the type of aircraft operating your flight can have a huge impact on the overall flight experience, especially if you're flying economy, where every advantage helps. It's understandable though, especially when you consider that an A330 no one airline may mean two older seats and no mood lighting, whereas on other same model could have been much more modern and comfortable cabin. Knowing what you look for as you search for flights to book, it takes quite a depth of knowledge and interest, and most people don't have time for that. It is possible though to give some general guidelines for planes you should keep an eye out for the next time you're shopping for flights. These are the top 5 to aim if you want a better flight experience, plus one to avoid. Firstly, we have the Airbus A350. The A350 has entered a number of airlines fleets over the past few years, and it is quickly becoming a passenger favorite. This is fuel efficient twin-engine long-haul plane is unbelievably quiet, though it still feels powerful and boasts a lower cabin altitude, higher humidity, taller ceilings and bigger windows. It's a good bet. It will also have all the modern airplane perks like mood lighting and the latest entertainment system on Wi-Fi. Oh, and their stunning tail camera. Seats in economy are usually laid up in a 333 configuration, the same as most Boeing 787s, but the A350 cabin is wider, so everyone gets more room to stretch out. On number 2, we have the Airbus A220. A220's benefits are covered here at length, but to rehash briefly, it's a fantastically roomy plane considering its relatively small seat count, just over 100. It's quiet and it has all newest tech like lightning and more. Coming at number 3, we have the Boeing 767. This might be a surprise because the 767 is an older plane, but it's still transatlantic workhorse. Turns out it's ranked number across 3 across the prom. And there's no simple reason to choose a 232 configuration in economy. That means only middle seat for every row. And those traveling in pairs, it's a nice option for sitting together and having a window without a stranger sharing your set of seats. And although it's an older aircraft at this point, most of 767s still have the flying nice 777 overhead bins and reasonably comfortable interiors. Anyway, if it is better between a 767 and a 787, I'll pick a 767 every time. Coming at number 4, we have the Airbus A380. The A380 may be soon a thing about the past. The Airbus announced this year that due to low sales, it would be halting production in the next couple of years, but the double-decker behemoth remains the fantastic airplane to fly on, even if it's a little too big for most airlines to make money with it. It's quite smooth, handles turbulence better than just about anything out there, and evokes a romantic cruise ship in the sky feeling. But it has a downside, like it has relatively smaller windows, it has a lower deck, overly cavernous, and boarding and deplaning so many people at once can be a slow process, but still it's a very comfortable airplane. Last over here we have the Airbus A320 Neo. The A320 Neo looks about the same as the A320 family other planes, but you can tell it's part bigger engines and distinctive winglets. As an older aircraft with some design improvements, it doesn't change the game for passengers like the A350 does. But you're much more likely to come across A320 sized plane, and if you do not see it, and if you do see if you have options of a Neo. The big plus point is it has a quieter flight plus likely more modern cabin with nice lighting. It's also fuel efficient and puts out lesser emissions. Downside, it's still a 3-3 configuration in economy, which means that those who like a window seat have to be sandwiched in by two strangers. And in the start of the video, I told you which aircraft to avoid, and surprisingly it would be the Boeing 787 Dreamliner. It's a good new plane in number of ways with many benefits, or the A350, including bigger windows and have comfortable pressurization and humidity, but it has distinct problems. The first is relatively minor but annoying. It has high-tech dimming windows instead of physical window shades that can be controlled by the cabin crew, meaning if they do not want you to look out of the window, you won't get to. The second one is deal breaker. Nearly all airlines use 333 configuration in economy, and the cabin is little narrow for that, meaning a full flight in the back of the plane is borderline torture with narrow seats and no shoulder and elbow room. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Please like, comment, subscribe. Goodbye till we meet again.